There you are. A little birdie told me that I could be expecting you. Come back for this. I'm not so sure if you're ready to hold this key. 8 days is all you got to use its potential, or else it loses its power. And already there's been days frittered by diversions, simple pleasures, idle hands, and things that have become, well, the devil's playthings. Meanwhile, you lost sight. You lost sight of the key that opens up a whole new reality. How can I be sure you're not going to be careless with it again? Humans, such curious creatures. They're careless with the things that matter most and hold tight to what's completely inconsequential. I believe in you. I think you'll keep a more watchful eye on it this time. Don't miss the opportunity to use it. Here, let me tuck it behind your ear for safekeeping. I don't have it. Oh, what's that? The yellow brick road. It opens for you now, but you might miss the juncture. A juncture that will have your fortunes on the rise, but you're still caught up. You're still caught up looking at the undercarriage of that machine, still mired in the holy grail, the grit, grime, and the oil. Aren't you ready to get out from under that? Let's see what the fates have to say. Going to get a little prognosis of your situation. Something obviously distracted you because you misplaced the key. I don't know how you keep doing that, but there must be something at work, something that's causing you to just give up a treasure that holds the answers to all you've been seeking. For what? What could distract you so? What's captured your attention? Oh, fear. You've been journeying through the valley of fear. You think that if you don't look at the challenge before you, that it's just going to disappear. And that somehow you can bypass the road of adventure that leads you to the place called home. The place where you've always belonged. You'd rather remain a wanderer, feel safer than vulnerability of actually wanting to belong. Somewhere you lost the map. You didn't just lose the key, you lost a map, you lost your compass. Looks like you lost some bags too. That could be a good thing though. Maybe you're getting a different view. Maybe right now you're in the thick of it. You're really staring down your fear. You're staring down your fear once and for all, and maybe you're trying to look at it from a different angle. Maybe that's how you'll set things right by the 28th when that wheel of fortune turns and you get back on the right track. You might need a little help from your allies, but you do have friends in high places. They feel that this is the judgment that needs to be acted upon, and maybe they feel like you've wandered a little too far off into the alfalfa, and so they're trying to talk some sense into you. This could be the hounds that were howling. Could be the hounds that were howling last time. They're crying out to you to get back to your senses. What's happened here? Have you lost your ever-loving mind? They see that you left something behind. And in quite an eventful way, too, it appears something has really been a bit of what some would call a disaster. But you seem to be just sailing away. Sailing away. All these people left behind feel like you owe them a rescue. I don't know. You got a little secret alliance here who sees things quite differently, though. They feel like it was just the measure needed to bring balance to a situation. And it's time that some of these souls learn how to navigate the terrain you've had to find your way through. You know, it's really not anything that is causing any harm. It's actually quite the opposite. You're just giving people a chance to have their mettle tested as yours was. And really, sometimes we have to go certain stretches alone. We got to pull ourselves out of a jam, out of a tight spot. You know you have a juncture you have to get to. There may be some sending out an SOS to you because you came to your senses. You realized you needed to abandon ship. You recognized you were around others who had an I'm aboard, pull up the ladder mentality. And you finally realized there was no need for so much complication. You want to get back down to simple things. You're okay drifting for a while, which is kind of ironic that something that requires timeliness is put in your hands. Hopefully you're a time bender and you can make the little time left stretch. Perhaps you can. Anything's possible. With a little help from friends in high places. You do have some alliances here. And they're helping you achieve the objective of your burning heart. I see your heart fire's been lit. Little birdie told me about that too. You've been hit by the lightning bolt of Cupid's arrow. Something has set your heart ablaze. And now that your heart is awake, it can't go back to sleep. Helen of Troy, I see. Sunk more than one battleship. You have your eyes on somebody here. You see? The little birdie told me. The little birdie is always aware of what's going on in the surroundings. And you're going to have to start to be more aware too, especially holding the key with the potentiality that it holds to unlock, well, a doorway to a whole new dimension that you've never even begun to explore in the world around you, within you, a dimension that opens through you and all it connects you to. You're going to go out to far out places, man. You think you've gone far off into the alfalfa? Wait until you see what's next. There's quite a trip in store. There's a lot of new characters coming in on the scene. And you're going to have to get used to not having control of everything. You're going to have to get used of what's available to you, which might have you needing to approach things quite differently than what you're accustomed to. You're not necessarily going to have the same resources or connections or surroundings that you've been familiar with. And yet this is what opens you up into the ride of a lifetime, really. There's a great adventure in store. And this adventure, it introduces you to a whole new storyline, something you've never experienced before. And you're going to go so far, so much farther than you ever thought you'd go, so much farther within yourself, so much farther in connecting with other people, so much farther in what you thought was possible for you, so much farther geographically, so much farther mentally, spiritually, emotionally, farther than you've ever gone before, pushing something farther than you ever have before, even though it makes you feel a little shaky. Even though it makes you feel a little shaky, you know that it will fill that achy space in your heart. Finally, you have something that makes you feel like going farther instead of sitting within less. Chariot's going to be here soon. You'll start to see that chariot come in on the scene on the 1st. Gonna light up the skyline with that Leo full moon. And then it's gonna be go time. Might be first to travel in the mind, conversation you have, something that makes you realize there's more possible for you than you initially anticipated. And that may be when you finally use that key, so long as you don't lose it. It is one of those things that you either use it or lose it. And you only got so much more time left. But there are ways that you can suspend time. You can hold it in a state of suspended animation while you get things lined up. If you know how to Merc ride. So you might be doing a little bit of that over these next 72 hours. You don't know what ails you. That's part of it. You've been avoiding that. You haven't wanted to really look at it. But in understanding what ails you, you arrive closer to the cure. I think it's the trappings that are what is causing your state of malady. It's everything you thought was going to give you some kind of happiness, some feeling of arrival, some sense of success, that recognition, I have it all. And how is it that you can have it all and you feel like you got nothing? But you see, that's what the key will open up for you. That's what the key will help you see. What the true gold is. When you recognize it, it'll have you greeting the dawn. but there's certainly those who would like to cloak it from you. They would rather you waste the time. Here, I think it's time I pass this key on to you too. You have to find the person who has this key that fits within your heart. There's no more words. You always knew it would come to this, didn't you? Already the path opens to you. The Master Maker greets you there. Godspeed.